What is up, guys? I am Benny, they call me Bear, and on this video we're gonna get your engine bay all lit so you can do any repairs at night on the trail. Let's go. Alrighty guys, so we're gonna get started with the project. We're gonna use this little light bar that mounts to your license plate frame, and it's to help you have a little bit more light when backing up, but we're gonna be using it under the hood. In the center of it, it's gonna have the perfect angle to shine down into the engine bay. We're gonna find our path for our wire right here. Just kind of rub it on there and mark it. Get it drilled out. And then once we drill it out, we're gonna run the wire through the inside ribs of the hood on that path I just showed. And it's gonna take me a minute to get that wire ran through. I'm gonna let you watch me struggle with this process. In the meantime, guys, sorry for the voiceover. I typically like to leave the audio as I'm working and explaining the steps. But unfortunately, during the video, it was the Texas summer. Hotter than two rabbits humping in a wool sock. Trust me, I had fans going. I was sweating. I was just annoyed. I wasn't talking very much. And it was just not great quality audio. So bear with me with the voiceover. Also trying to record in the middle of the night. My babies are sleeping and I'm just trying to do the best I can here. So anyway, after finally running that wire through, we're going to run it like I said, right through those ribs on the path I showed, and we're gonna be getting it all set up. Oh my, look at the state of this hood. It is dirty, and that is what I'm about to explain. I was gonna put it right on there. It uses double-sided tape and a couple of screws, but man, with the state of this hood, it being so dirty, the other lights I'm using also uses a 3M double-sided tape and one little screw, and it was not going to stick to that hood. So how are we going to fix it? Well, I got a surprise for you. I personally have been using Super Clean for quite a while, and later on in the video I'm going to let you know a little secret. So yeah, we're going to use the Super Clean. We're going to spray it on there. I'm only going to focus on the areas that I need to, where I'm going to be sticking on the lights. But man, it's super easy. You just spray this on, wipe it down. You don't even have to put any effort into it, and it'll just take everything off. Grease, grime, grit, dirt, anything, it'll take it off. At this point, we're ready to secure that light with a couple of self-tapping screws. Turned out I couldn't run those through there. That was just kind of doubled up section of sheet metal. So I had to pre-drill and then run my screws. A little bit harder than I thought it was going to be, but at the end it worked out and I got it mounted. Alright guys, the next set of lights that we're going to be using come with these little harness clips, but I don't really trust those to be able to stay connected over time, just being under the hood and whatnot. So I'm going to do a permanent connection, and in order to do that I have to run the actual second light from the string through the underside out of the little square, and then be able to do the solid connection and then just run it back down the side, and that way it's all protected under those ribs and it actually will be secure. And then we're going to wrap it all with harness tape, and it's going to be heat resistant and abrasion resistant. So we're going to fish it down. We're going to grab our little harness plug and we're going to snip it off. There's markings on the wire that have basically your positive and negative, and you can see them. They're kind of light, but you can see them, at least on this set. Depending on which one you use, you'll be able to see it. But anyways, once our wires are split and our ends are just peeled off. Basically, we're going to use these little waterproof soldering connectors, and I like to twist off the ends of what we strip back. That's the word I was looking for. Make sure your ends are stripped and you're going to be connecting the right wires. I personally like to hook them and then twist them. So hook it and then twist it. That's like a mechanical connection. And then do the same to the other one. Then once those are set, I slide the connectors right over. These are great. They're waterproof, they're heat shrinks and solder in the same. And all you have to do is use a little lighter, a heat gun, and get them all shrinked up. I like to shrink the ends first. That way, whenever the solder melts, it doesn't. And then all you're gonna do is use a lighter to get the heat shrink and the solder melted. I personally like to start with the ends. That way, whenever the solder melts, it doesn't kind of run out, and you have a nice connection. And that's all you're gonna do with those. And then we're just gonna tape them up, protect them, and then we're gonna use harness tape with on the rest of the wire. Make sure it doesn't rub and cause a short while it's in there, and it's gonna be nice and safe. Alright, in this section, I'm trying to explain how whenever you open the hood, that little lip is like in the perfect parallel plane to the engine bay, and it's going to throw out the best light. And then we're just going to drill, pre-drill, and then make sure you're really safe when doing this. If you push too hard and hit the skin, it's going to be the actual outside of the hood. So here I'm just testing that little screw, make sure I have the right size drill, and then we're just gonna peel the tape back and screw it in. For the second light, it's going to be a lot of rinse and repeat. We're going to find the best spot for it. We're going to pre-drill. We are going to peel the tape, run the screw, but also we're going to fix that connection right there. And just basically do about the same. Off camera, I'm going to have that done. And then I use the same harness tape so that hole is pre-drilled, and we're just gonna run that little screw We're gonna peel that backing for that double-sided tape. Easier said than done. We're gonna put the screw in to help it locate itself in the right spot, and then we're just gonna run it in. And by the time we do that, that double-sided tape is gonna be pretty much where it needs to be, and you just apply a little pressure and make sure it sticks right. After we have it stuck in place, we're gonna do some more wire management right through there, just kind of discussing options about running the wire. Alright guys, so I want to explain real quick how these soldering heat shrink connectors work. So once you have your wire stripped, I like to spin the plastic off. That way the wire is nice and stripped. And again, like I mentioned before, I like to make little hooks and then twist them. That way they don't just pull away. Even though they're soldered, they can still just kind of fall off if you just leave them like side by side. So I personally like to hook them and then twist them and then do the heat shrink solder connector. A little bit of it is out of frame, but once I realize that, I start bringing it a little bit down, and then yep, right there I'm figuring out that most of it is out of frame. But yeah, we're going to check the polarity of the wires and make sure you have positive and positive, negative and negative, and then we'll go from there. So again, I like to hook them, I twist them, and then you have a really secure connection, and it's kind of do the same on the other side. Get that little hook going, get that little twist going. Then we slide down our little solder heat shrinks. And we're gonna do a little lighter, a little torch, and just warm them up. The fan was kind of playing tricks on me, so I had to turn it off for a while, and I had to suffer in the heat. But then, like I mentioned again, I like to do the ends before I do the actual solder. That way the solder, when it melts, it doesn't just kind of run off. This part is definitely not needed, but I just kind of like to have a little bit of extra protection. On the positive side, I'll just run an extra piece of tape on there. I personally use Super 33, and then for the harness tape is the Tessa hard cloth tape. And then that one you can definitely not cut with your hands. You will definitely need some scissors for that. It's really tough tape. So yeah, you'll definitely need some scissors for that, and or a knife or something like that. But yeah, we're just gonna wrap the wire and make sure our connection and our wire is nice and safe. This section right here, I'm just explaining what I did to the light, how I ran the wiring, how I've secured it, pretty much the same as all the other ones. Not very interesting, so I just fast forwarded through. Now, while my big head is in the frame, let me show you this little video of me using more Super Clean products. Now, this is the surprise I was talking about. The guys at Super Clean saw my videos, saw that I used their products, and they reached out to me, and they want to give you guys an opportunity to get some free products. Again, like every giveaway on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we're going to be sending out a couple of products. You'll see a little bit more of that towards the end of the video, so stick around. Right here, guys, we're going to jump into the original audio, so please excuse the fan and all the other random noises, but I want you to hear what I was saying at the time. I don't want to like secondhand tell you the story of what I was doing and how I was feeling at the moment, so bear with me.
All right, so we're gonna test them out real quick before we go any further. That way we know all our lights are working as they should. We have all our wiring correctly done. And there we go. 4 lights lighting up. Perfect. We haven't tried the middle one yet because we need to extend it. I could tap into here, but since they are in series, I'm afraid of like voltage drop. So we're gonna take it all the way down to here. All right, let me extend that real quick. All right, guys, so I finished running the wire for that light. I extended it, ran it through. Now everything's coming out right here, and everything is connected. We're going to test it real quick. Right about there. And man, I'm telling you, that is bright. So there you go. That is some bright light. Let's cut every other light off. Our work light and our main lights. All right. Actually, now guys, those look cool, but the best part is the amount of light in the engine bay. That is unreal. That light back there on the workbench doesn't really add much. I'll show you. You can't see anything in the engine. Turn it on, and then the entire engine is lit. It's like I have my actual work light in here giving me tons of light. If I'm ever stuck in the trail at night, I am gonna be nice and set because I can see everything. And this is only about half of these type. Obviously the main one is pretty good, but these other 4 ones, we have still to do 4 on the other side. And with what we have now, man, I can see everything. Probably don't need any more over there, but more is always better. So we're gonna do that one with the magic of YouTube, I guess. Does this work? I guess that doesn't work. Does this work?
Alrighty, so for the driver's side of the hood, we're just gonna run through this time lapse, run the wiring, secure the lights, and we should be good to go.
Alrighty guys, so after about 40 minutes for me, 20 something seconds for you, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 lights all installed, same as we did over here, with the backing tape and the screw. All the wire has been soldered and heat shrunk and taped with the harness tape. We do have to do a little bit of wire management, just kind of getting everything looking nice and neat like we do. make one last quick test to make sure everything's working as it should. All the lights come on. We are good to go. All right. We're going to shorten our lead over there for the ground, and then we'll run our power. Now, this is something I had done a long time ago when I was dreaming up this project. I had this switch. I didn't know what to do with it. I just put it there, and I'm like, I'm going to use it for something one day. Well, this is our fuse box lid, and it's a on-off switch. Here's the wiring for it, and we are going to use it right now for this project. Alrighty, so we got our wire trimmed to length with a spade connector. We have our grounds with a terminal. We just ran all the tape. I'm going to cut it right there. Alright, this is going to go into the fuse box. We have our two spade connectors that are going to be for our switch. And then we need one wire that goes from the switch out of the fuse box around the side, and that connects into our power distribution over here, obviously with a fuse. So let's get that one taken care of next. Probably need about 1, 2, 3 feet, 2 feet, 24 inches and a bit just to get there. We'll be right back. Alrighty, so we have our power wire ran through. We have a little fuse, inline fuse right here, 10 amps, not much. It's LED, so it won't take too much. We're going to do this last. We have both of our leads, one going, one coming back. Alrighty, so I'm going to turn our work light on. Here's our switch, and we have power. Now, that looks perfect. We'll do the cleanup in a time lapse, and I'll show you the end, how it turned out. All the cleanup and everything, and then we'll do the nice glamour shots.
And here's how that wire is ran up through the grounding strap on the inside of the ribs of the hood. All the wires are nice and clean. Now let's just kind of appreciate the work. Alrighty guys, and a huge shout out to the guys at Super Clean for sending us these two products that can be yours after you drop a comment that says, I want some Super Clean. That's it. That's all you have to do. Drop that comment, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Instagram, turn on notifications, all that YouTube stuff, and you guys can get these two products that Super Clean sent us so that we can send to you. That is the only sponsorship they provided. So if you guys want to help the channel out, help me connect with brands to get you more free stuff and obviously make more YouTube videos, then this is your chance. Drop that comment. And again, thanks to Super Clean.
Trail, it's dark, you can't see anything, your phone doesn't really do much, but you do have halo lights. Everything is visible, there's no blind spots. No matter where you put your hand or your head, you'll still be able to see because there's so much light coming from so many different places. Alrighty guys, that is how you do that. Your Jeep is gonna look awesome. You're gonna be the only one in the trail with this.